guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking on lesson 42. We're going to be talking about repeating decimals. Repeating decimals, kids who are in my class, you best be writing this down. Example number 1. So you may have seen in the past when you're dividing something out. For example, let's say we have 43 divided by 6. So this isn't even going to be example number 1 so far. So the way that we would do that is this goes under the table, this goes on top, right? So we put 43, we have 6, right? 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 7 is 42. So 7 times 6 would give us 42. This decimal here gets boosted up to here. Minus, you get 1. Bring down a 0. 6 goes into 10 one time. That gives me 6. Minus 4. Bring down another 0. 6 goes into 40. 6 times 6, 7. No, 6, yeah. Oops. 6 times 6, which gives me 36 minus, and we get 4. And now we bring down another 0, and that goes into 4. 6 goes in 6 times. 6 times 6 is 36. Minus, you get 4. Bring down another 0. You can see how I can do this forever, right? So it's that repeating bit is what we're going to be talking about today, okay? The way that we would write this guy would be equals 7.16, and then I would put a line over just the part that's repeating, which is 6. So that is what that's going to look like. Let's talk about some of these other ones. So now let's go to example number 1. It says, rewrite these decimals with a bar over the repetend. I don't even know if that's the word. So 3, 3, 3. So you see how that goes on like this. So the way that you would write this is 0.083 with a bar just over the 3 because that's what repeats. Looking at B though, this one's a little tricky. 5.142857. 142857. So you have to look for the pattern here. Notice it's 142857. 1428. So do you see how that part repeats? So the way that this would be written would be 5.142857, and then we would put a bar over the entire thing saying, hey, that whole chunk repeats. For C, 454.545454 ... So the way that we would write this guy out, sorry, I always tilt my board. Sorry about that. The way that we would write this guy out is 454.54 with a line over it because that's the chunk that is repeating, right? Okay, so round each. Now we're going to look at example number 2. Example number 2. Give me just a second here to change out my marker. This one says, breaking things over here. All right, so there we go. Example 2 says, round each number to 5 decimal places. So for A, we have 5.316 with a line over it. So if we're going to round this to 5 decimal places, we're going to need something here and something here, okay? And we're actually going to need 6 just to make sure we know what we're doing. So I'm going to rewrite this with 5.31666, because that will give me, and then another 6, ... So we want to round to 5 decimal places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to be rounding to this guy here, which means we need to look at this one. If this is 5 or greater, this guy gets boosted up. So it is going to be 5.31667. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's to our 5th decimal place. So if you're going to round to 5 decimal places, you got to go 6 out so that you can see what that next one is, especially when you're dividing numbers and you end up with decimals, right? And it keeps going on and on. If you want to round to you can usually round to the hundredths, which is 2 decimal places. You have to go to 3 so that you know how to round that properly. That was example 2. Actually, there's more of them. B. Sorry about that. 25.405. Okay, so in this case, it's going to be 25.405, and then 405 repeats again, and it keeps going, right? Just like that. Again, we're rounding to the 5 decimal places. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're rounding to here. which means we need to look at this guy and see that it is 5 or greater, which means this guy gets boosted up. So it's going to be 25.40541. Okay, so this would be our rounding. All right, so number 3. Example number 3, divide 1.5 by 11. 1.5 by 11. That means that this comes in front, right? So it's going to go 1.5 divide and then by 11. So this is on top of the table. It's going to go under our table here. 1.5 over 11. Okay, so first things first, we make sure there are no decimals here. Bam, there are no decimals. Good. We're going to take this guy, we're going to boost that up to here so that we don't forget about it. 11 goes into 1. It can't. So we can put a 0 here just to make it like a placeholder. 11 goes into 15 one time. 1 times 11 is 11. When we subtract, we also have to keep bringing down. We're going to have some zeros over here that we get to bring down. So we're going to bring down. 11 goes into 40 3 times. 3 times 11 is 33. Subtract that, we end up with 7, and when we subtract, we bring down. 11 goes into 70 6 times. 6 times 11 is 66. Then we get 4, and we bring a 0. 11 times goes into 40 3 times. That gives me 33. We subtract. That's going to give me 7. Bring down a 0. Okay. 11 goes into 70 6 times. So you can see that it's starting to repeat up here. When this happens, you can go ahead and write it. So yeah, you would write 0.136, and you would put the repeating bar over the 36 because you can see that that's what's going to be repeating. Okay. Then for B, it says, oh, I'm sorry, put it with the repeating bar. So this was A. And then for B, it says, okay, round this to the nearest hundredth. Hundredth meaning the second position right here, right? So that's this guy right here, which means we need to look at this one. This is 5 or greater, so this is going to be boosted up. So for B, rounding it to the nearest hundredth is going to be 0.1414. All right, so that was example 3. Oh, then it goes on to talk about calculators, and when you enter something into a calculator, it does end, but because the calculator screen can't go on forever, right? So, so making sure that you know when you're using your calculator that it's when something is repeating. So you can go through and read that if you'd like. In the meantime, practice problems on page 257. I want you to do practice problems A through F. A. So if you want to pause and do them and then come on back to make sure you did them right, that's great. 727. For A and B, they want you to write it with the repeating bar over the top. 81666, and so on and so on. Okay, so for this one, you're going to be 2.72 with a bar over that because that's the bit that's repeating. For this guy, you're going to do 0.816 with a line over the 6 because that is the part that's repeating. C. Round this to the nearest thousandth. Remember, thousandth is our third decimal place over. So in this case, since it's going to be, oh, I guess I didn't need to do that, 0.6666 with ... right? So we're going to the third decimal place, which means we need 4 digits up here. So for D, 5.381 with a bar over the 81. So this is going to be 5.381, 81, 81, ... Okay, since we're going to the third decimal place, we're going here, which means we need to look at the one to the right of it. That is 5 or greater, so this is going to be boosted up. So our answer is 0.667. That would be your answer, 0.667. For here, again, we're going to the thousandth, so that's the third decimal place. That's this guy right there, which means we need to look at this one and we see that that is greater than, or 5 or greater. So this guy's going to get boosted up, so it's going to be 5.382. 5.382 right there. So those are going to be your rounding. All right. So for E, divide actually it says divide 1.7 by 12 and write the quotient. 1.7 divided by 12. All right, so if we've got 1.7 on top of the table, we're gonna put it under the table. So 12, 1.7, we're gonna bring up our decimal here, okay? 12 does not go into 1, so I'm gonna put a 0. 12 does go into 17 one time, you get 12. Let me throw some zeros here so that we remember. When we subtract, ooh, I didn't need to do a giant line like that. When we subtract, we also bring down, so 5, 6, 7. Subtract, bring down. 12 goes into 50 4 times. Making sure I've got these all nice and lined up. 4 times 12 is 48. Subtract that, we get 2, okay? When we subtract, we bring down. 12 goes into 20 one time. 1 times 12 is 12. Subtract that, we get an 8. When we subtract, we bring down. That's 80. So 12 times 6, I believe. Yes, that's 72. 12 times 6 gives us 72. When we subtract, we bring down. We see that this is going to start to repeat because 80, 72. So 12 goes into 86 times minus 72. So you're catching on, right? 80, so on and so forth. Okay, so for A though, for E, it says write that with a bar over the repeating bit. So that's 0.1416 with a line over it like this. For F, rounded to 4 decimal places. So for F, we're going to round to 4 decimal places. 1, 2, 3, 4. We want to round to that decimal place, which means this guy is 5 or greater, so that's going to be boosted up. So it's going to be 0.1417. 1417. All right, guys, if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, great work, and I will see you in class. Thanks, guys.